Together Alone: The Epidemic of Gay Loneliness. This nonfiction piece by Michael Hobbs describes the loneliness, the sense of isolation, and stress that gay men suffer after the society has made progress to respect the gay community and promote equality. As a gay himself, the author uses his own experience to introduce two factors: minority stress and its after effect that has contributed to these problems. Minority stress states that when one is the minority in society, they need to spend more effort to get the same sense of achievement and fulfillment. The need and urge to be competitive last even after gay men grow up. Quoting the author, "Our body brings the closet into adulthood." The author uses the frustrating examples of three of his friends and himself to demonstrate the severity of the situation, and using research to support the claim that the gay community tends to be mean toward other gay men with a standard they are conditioned to follow before they are more respected. This standard is where the after effect comes from. To get approval from society, the minority group inevitably follows the societal standard of success, which usually goes hand in hand with masculinity. The author describes that the standard tall, white, muscular, and masculine are oppressing the feminine side of gay men and diminishing their strength, being, quoting the author, wit, resilient, empathetic, and also being very, very good at dressing and dancing and karaoke. About the contact part, there are two important contexts for this article. One is the surge of dating app, and the other is the inaugural of Donald Trump. In the article, the author describes how dating app results from and change the way the gay community interacts with each other. The aggressiveness gay men hold toward each other makes using dating apps seem like an easier option due to the fear of rejections, but this ends up distancing people from each other and preventing them from having real-life interactions, which in return worsen this problem. The other piece of context that Donald Trump is elected marks the degradation of the gay rights movement, which makes it essential for gay men to understand the importance of sticking together without much prejudice against each other. About the writing skill, one prominent writing skill that this article features is the use of contrast between what he and the gay community originally think and identify and what the reality is. His argument would first introduce the misconceptions that people have using the support of scientific research, and then explain the consequence to establish the severity of such misconception before explaining how the problem comes about. Furthermore, in his direct quote, the description of the situation is very detailed and realistic, making the quote even more convincing. Although his personal experience could bias him, his viewpoint is supported by these researches and all the examples that he gives, and so it is not skewed and could present the relatively objective truth. Another reason this piece is engaging for me is that the author took the first-person approach. He talks about from a gay man's perspective, which I can identify with. Therefore, I am more inclined to agree with him. The other interpretive lens that I have is when the stories in the article match with mine, I am biased to follow even more carefully with the flow of his arguments without considering too much of the validity of the argument when reading for the first time.